Hey guys, so I got invited to the Wrath beta and I've been playing some Feral PvP on there, and I thought I'd just post another little talent video going over the talents that I'm currently running on the beta and kind of why I'm running them. So to start it off, the first row here is the same as what it is in TBC. I still go Ferocity. I think one big thing to note about Wrath of the Lich King compared to TBC is that your Mangle is now a minute-long debuff. So the energy cost reduction on Mangle is not quite as important here as it was in TBC, but something else that changes in Wrath is that Rake is now good, and it does not last that long, and you will want to be reapplying it a lot. So the reduction cost for both Mangle and Rake I think makes this talent worth. On the other side, there's the Ferocious Bite. You are going to be using Ferocious Bite more in Wrath. You build combo points so fast, your rip will last longer if you run these glyphs, so you won't need to be reapplying your rip as much. So these talents are also worth, but I've chosen to not get them as of now. In the next row, it's the same thing kind of as in TBC. This just makes your stealth better. One thing to note here is Savage Fury and Brutal Impact have swapped places. I still go and I get the 20% damage to your Mangle and your Rake. Like I said earlier, Mangle not quite as important, but 20% damage on your Rake is. I don't get the armor. I don't think going armor is useful in PvP, the armor talent at least. And then Feral Swiftness is the same as it is in TBC. 30% movement speed in cat. You'll almost always be in cat form, so always get this talent. Survival Instincts is a new talent here. It is basically last stand for druids. It'll increase your maximum health by 30% for an entire 20 seconds. It's amazing. I would always recommend it. It's only one talent point. Extremely useful defensive. Great against double DPS. Great against burst comps. Great in conjunction with Barkskin. Always get this talent. Sharpened Claws is the same as it was in TBC. 6% crit. Primal Precision is a new talent that gives you expertise and refunds. If you get 2 points in it, it'll refund 80% of your energy cost if you miss a finishing move. Personally, I don't like getting expertise in PvP because if you're attacking from behind, expertise doesn't matter. So I skip out on this talent for now, but I do think there's an argument to be made to pick it up. Primal Fury is exactly the same as in TBC. You get an extra combo point whenever you crit with the cat ability. This is mandatory. Predatory Strikes is interesting. The first part of it is basically the same. You get more attack power. The second part is probably the biggest kind of quality of life for Feral PvP increase that we got. It makes it so that you have a 20% chance per combo point that when you land your finishing move, your next nature spell will be instant. So this means that if you do 5 combo point finishing moves, you have a 100% chance to guarantee that you'll have an instant nature spell. You could cast a heal or other things, but 90% of the time, you'll just be casting Cyclone instantly on people. And this is a huge quality of life improvement. So really nice to see this. Instant clones are so nice just for CCing and not having to pop out and hard cast clones, or people can interrupt you all over the place. So this talent right here, obviously mandatory and amazing. Shredding attacks, same as it was in TBC, reduces your shred by a bunch. Some people are talking about a Mangle build for PvP. Personally, I've been using the shred build on the beta, and shred slaps, and so I'm gonna go the shred build for now. Nurturing Instinct is pretty much the same as it was in TBC. It's slightly nerfed. Instead of 100% of your agility as healing, you only get 70%, but you do keep the 20% increase to healing done to you while in cat form. So I still think it's really useful, especially if you're running with the healer. If you're running double DPS and you're not popping out in like off healing, then I could see you dropping this. Feral Charge. Bear form is the same, but there's an additional Feral Charge called Cat that you can now leap to the enemy and you'll daze them. Cat has a little bit longer of a cooldown, And it's important to note that if you use cat, your feral charge will go on cooldown, and if you use your feral charge bear will go on cooldown, and if you use feral charge bear, your cat will go on cooldown. So they kind of share a cooldown, so you can't be hopping around all over the place. But the feral charge cat is a welcomed change, because now there were certain areas in which you needed like a route to go to in feral charge bear. Like let's say Blaze Edge, where the bridge is. If someone's in the middle of the bridge and you're right below them, you can't feral charge bear them. But now, because feral charge cat is a leap, you can just it's kind of like shadow step. You can just kind of jump up onto the bridge, and that's super useful for your mobility. Brutal Impact, like I said, was swapped with Savage Fury. It's basically the same, but with an extra decrease to the cooldown of the bash. So if you get 2 points, it'll do what it did in TBC, which is increases the stun duration of your bash and your pounce by 1 second. But on top of that, it'll also decrease the cooldown of your bash by 30 seconds, which is cutting it in half. Personally, I thought I would be running 2 out of 2 in this all the time, but I found that I was hitting the diminishing return on the stun, and personally, Bash is still very good, but in Wrath you actually have so many options that it just makes Bash a little less good, just because there's so many other things you can do. So right now on the beta, I'm only running 1 out of 2. But I think running 2 out of 2 is maybe the play, or it's definitely subjective. Natural Reaction is a bear form talent. Don't ever pick it up for PvP. Heart of the Wild is basically the same, more int, more stamina in bear form, more attack power in cat form. I still go 5 out of 5. I think it's good. Survival of the Fittest is basically the same as was in TBC, but a little bit better. It's 2% stats, 2% less chance to be critically hit for each point. So if you go up to the max, you'll have 6% more stats, 6% less chance to be hit by crit by melees. And then it also increases your armor in bear form by 33%. I think right now on the beta, just because I'm using the blue PvP gear, I didn't feel like the stats were that much, the 6% stats. I could see it maybe being good later on or as you get good gear, but right now I'm not running Survival of the Fittest. Leader of the Pack, exactly the same, always get it. Improved Leader of the Pack is pretty much the same as in TBC, but with the additional effect that you will now also, instead of just healing, you'll get 8% of your maximum mana back as well. So this can help you with that sort of longevity as you're critting and you're just getting 8% max mana back every 6 seconds. I like Leader of the Pack. I've always liked Leader of the Pack, so I go 2 points into it. Primal Tenacity has changed a little bit. It used to be 15% less chance to get hit by fears and stuns. In Wrath, they kind of took away the RNG effects of the getting hit by fears and stuns, and they changed them into duration talents. So this is one of those that was changed. So now, instead, it makes it so that fears last 30% less, and then all damage taken while stunned in cat form will be 30% less. So what's kind of nice is if you get opened in cat form by a rogue, right, you cheap shot, you're taking 30% less damage, but you're also getting healed for 20% more. It's pretty much better than being in bear form, almost. Yeah, the bear form gives you more health, and maybe the armor will outscale the 30% damage reduction when you're stunned, but this helps a ton with being found in cat form, and I'd always get 3 out of 3 tenacity. Protector of the Pack is a bear talent. It increases your attack power and reduces the damage you take in bear form. Would never pick for PvP. Predatory Instincts is basically the same as it was in TBC, except instead of reducing the chance that you get hit by AoE attacks, it now reduces the damage you take from AoE effects by 30%. But along with that, it also makes your crits do 10% more damage, and 10% more damage on your crits is very good. Infected Wounds is new. If you know anything about Wrath Feral PvP, you know that Infected Wounds is great. It's the slow we always wanted in TBC but never got. It makes it so your Shred and your Mangle will put this debuff up on the target and they'll be slowed by 50%. So now it'll also make it so your partner can reach that person way easier. You'll be able to reach that person way easier. On top of that, it also reduces attack speed by 20%. So this is amazing. I always go 3 out of 3 for PvP. In the next row, King of the Jungle is another talent that is just absolutely amazing. So in Wrath, your Tiger's Fury now costs no energy. And once you get this talent, it will not only cost no energy, but it'll give you 60 energy. So you want to be using all your energy, popping Tiger's Fury. It's kind of like a power shift, but it has a cooldown. But also on top of that, this talent gives you 60% reduction to the mana cost of your cat and bear form. So this drastically decreases the amount of mana that your forms cost. So this is a must-have for PvP. Mangle is Mangle. It's great. Obviously, you have to pick up Mangle for Feral PvP. Improved Mangle, I don't think it's that useful. As I talked about earlier, you don't need to keep reapplying Mangles. So the reduction of the energy cost is just not that useful, and I think you can use the points better elsewhere. Rend and Tear is another great talent that just makes us do a ton of damage. It makes it so your Shred does 20% more damage to anyone who is bleeding, right? So this is why it's important to keep your bleeds up, because then your Shred will do 20% more damage. After you get 5 points in this, you can get Primal Gore, which will make it so that your Rip can now crit. On the beta, I'm wearing the blue PvP gear, and my Rips are already critting for like almost 2.5k. So it's amazing. It kills people all the time when the tick crits. Primal Gore is another must-have. Oh, something I did not mention about Rend and Tear is that it also increases your crit chance of your Ferocious Bite on a bleeding target by 25%. So like I'm already at like 40% crit or something in cat form. So we're talking I'm at like, if I have a bleed up on the target and I Ferocious Bite them, it's like a 65% chance to crit. So yes, resilience will affect that, but I mean, that's a huge chance to crit. Berserk is the new finishing talent for Feral, and it is also another amazing one. It makes all of your cat form abilities cost half the amount of energy that they usually would. So if you're at full energy and you pop this, you can build 5 combo points, pop it. Like you can do so much damage in so little time because all of your moves cost like almost no energy. It's the best sort of DPS cooldown out there. On top of that, it kind of like Death Wish, it makes it so that you can't be feared. So if a priest has, pops pain suppression, and then they don't have a partner who can like cyclone you or actually hard CC you, or you still have your trinket, like you just pop this and you kill them. There's absolutely nothing. You don't even have to really do finishing moves. You could just shred until they're dead. This is a great talent, and obviously you should always pick it up. Furor changes a little bit. The first part of it, when you shift in the bear form, it gives you 10 rage. That part's exactly the same. That's important because if you want to shift in the bear form and quickly feral charge anyone to stop them from casting, you need to have 5 out of 5 to guarantee that you get 10 rage. But on top of that now, the other part of Furor is that you will keep up to 100 of your energy when you shapeshift in the cat form. And this is important because while you are out in form or while you're in bear form, your energy will tick back up to full. But on top of that, if you're at 100 energy, and let's say you need to pop out to cyclone someone, in TBC, when you go back, you're going to start at 40 energy. In Wrath, if you pop out to cyclone someone and you were at 100 energy, you go back and you still have that 100 energy. So this is way better than power shifting. It feels great. It feels great to always go back into cat form and have a full energy bar to start pumping. So yeah, always 5 out of 5 in the Furor. Naturalist is basically the same as it was in TBC. It's 10% physical damage. Always pick it up. And then Omen of Clarity has been buffed to where now it can proc off of our spells as well. And so it will proc more, but also on top of that, it can't be dispelled. It's no longer like a buff that you have to put up. It's just a passive. As soon as you learn the talent, you have Omen of Clarity passively and no one can remove it. So it's absolutely a must-have. It's amazing. and it feels great. As far as the last 5 talent points, what I've been going is Natural Shapeshifter into Master Shapeshifter. This will reduce your mana cost of your shapeshifting by 30% and then give you 4% more crit chance in cat form. I think there's an argument that because you already have the mana reduction to King of Jungle and because I'm running Improved Leader of the Pack, like if you're not having mana issues from power shifting, then this is really 5 talent points for just 4% crit. And I think later on it might be more worthwhile to drop these for Survival of the Fittest, because not only will this give you some crit passively, it'll give you more attack power, give you more stamina, but also it'll give you more intellect, which could also, if you really needed the mana, this could also give you some to put you over the top. But in this first season, I think the flat crit chance is better, and it may be better throughout all of Wrath, or it may not be. I don't claim to know for sure. But yeah, this is the talents that I'm running on the beta, and just to quickly go over the glyphs here, I'm running pretty offensive glyphs. I can show you some defensive ones after I go over this, but Glyph of Berserk increases the duration by 5 seconds. So Berserk has a 15-second duration. If you get this glyph, it makes it 20 seconds, which is a 33% increase in the duration of Berserk, and Berserk is amazing, so I would always get this glyph. The other two just help with the duration of your rip. Once you put it up, this will make it 4 seconds longer, and then the Glyph of Shred makes it so that every time you shred, it extends it by 2 seconds for up to 6 seconds. So entirely, this will make your rip last 10 more seconds. And keeping your rip up just means you do way more damage because of Rend and Tear, right? So that's why I go for these two. As far as defensive ones would go, if you really wanted to, you could go like Glyph of Barkskin maybe, but honestly, there's no Dispel resistance really for you, so Barkskin will most likely just be purged instantly, so I wouldn't really go Barkskin. I would think about maybe doing Glyph of Savage Roar is a DPS one if you want to just get 3% more damage and you didn't care about the duration of your rip. This could be put up, and then I think Survival Instincts increasing your max health by another 15%. So right now Survival Instincts is a 30% increase, but this would make it 45%, which I think is a pretty good. If I was going to do one sort of defensive glyph, I would do the Glyph of Survival Instincts. But for now, I like being offensive. As far as the minor glyphs go, the only one that does anything useful in PvP really is the Glyph of Dash. It reduces the cooldown of your dash. Glyph of the Wild is maybe useful. It makes your Mark of the Wild cost less, so if someone dispels it and you want to reapply it, that could be useful. And Glyph of Thorns just makes it last for an hour if you cast it on yourself. Not really that useful in PvP. But yeah, these are the talents that I'm running. I'll probably be posting some videos of some games or some commentary of situations that arise that I thought were unique to Wrath that don't happen in TBC. So I'll try to get those posted within a week or two. But I just wanted to, if anyone else has beta access and is not knowing which talents or glyphs to run, I thought I'd put this out there.